Please. So, first four sutras, we understand the summary. What exactly is the goal of meditation? The goal of meditation is to find our real nature. And what is that real nature? It is pure consciousness. And that consciousness manifests in permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. So, what exactly is the process? The process is empty the mind of its content. But why to empty the mind of its contents? So, we have a lot of contents, five subjective states we covered, and the five objective states we covered. So, this mind, you see, take one example that we do not know these principles. Say, for example, we don't know real self. Now we are grown in a society full of all the concepts from the science. So we are suffering from depression. Okay, manage your depression. Go to a psychiatrist. But we never have an idea or a thought that there is an entity which transcends the mind, is always in permanent peace and happiness. I don't know it. So when I don't know it, there is no need to search. Then run after these guys, huh? Those who are expert in knowing 3,000 abnormal state of the mind, means more than 3,000 illnesses. You see that? So then we went further and then we understood what exactly is the practice. What it means by practice, if you remember. If you remember, then you know what exactly is the practice. I use the three words. I have to get rid of those thoughts, feeling, wrong notions, and the ideas that is installed in the mind. I have to uninstall. That is one practice. The second is to different devices and the tools that we have. We have thousands of tools. That is another we have to integrate into the practice. And third is, did you still remember regularity, commitment, sincerity? That will help us to succeed. And for the last 4 weeks, we understood two sutras in detail. What is exactly the four states of mindfulness? Why we should study it? At least when you are doing the practice, now you know what is happening in you. What kind of an experiences are there in your mind? So that tells you, are you progressing or going down? That is why we should study. And then, now today, Master says, you see that I'm always free. I'm just bringing in the knowledge of this Master and expressing. Why? Because the teacher helps to personalize the practice based on the group. I teach the same Yoga Sutra to another group on Mondays and Thursdays, but it is totally different because the group is different. Their temperament is different. So now coming to, there are 5 sutras, and it is good to understand. So in the first sutra, it says Bhavat Pratyayo Videha Prakrati Layanam, who is the highest seeker. The highest seekers are by birth. They already have an intense aspiration. They succeed without any effort. They don't complain, no, I cannot attend the session today. I will attend. No, I'm busy. I have lot of problem. I have pain in the body. So those ideas, those thoughts are not there in their mind at all. So we have to understand that in a step by step. Bhavat pratyayo videha prakrati layanam, Sanskrit phrase. Then in the second sutra is that, okay, if you do not belong to that category of a seeker, then we need 5 attributes of the mind. Faith, energy and enthusiasm means commitment. Right memory means sincerity. And clear understanding of what exactly is meditation, to step into the higher consciousness. What are the attributes of the higher consciousness? So there are 5 traits. And well, now if you live with these 5 traits, it means 5 traits are 100%, then you are the topmost seeker and you will make a personal effort, you will succeed. You are a medium level of the with these 5 traits. Okay, it will take, I have used to tell people that only one session is required if you live with these 5 traits. Only one session. After that, you will join for the sake of a joy. I understand. Okay, very good. But if you are not, then you need another maybe couple of months, 6 to 9 months, if you are a mild level of a seeker. And if you are low level of a seeker, God knows when you will succeed. I do not know. Why should I know? So this is what he explained in the second, third, and the fourth sutras, fourth formula. And in the fifth formula, he says there is still another way. You don't need all these. Do you have an intense love for the real self? And can you personify that love for the real self as an image of the God? We will understand what exactly is the God. It is not the God of religion. Then also you can succeed. So now coming back to our first sutra. Highest seekers since birth with intense aspiration, they succeed. But before that, let us understand it clearly. So I'm taking a reference from another text, that is Gita, Bhagavad Gita. It contains 18 chapters, 700 verses, and it is one of the most profound texts which explains everything about life. And the goal is how to live in peace and happiness in day-to-day life, in personal, professional, social, family. So there, the master, the originator of yoga and meditation, who lived almost 6,000 years ago, he says, Neha bhikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate nahi svalpam pyasya trayate mehato bhayat. You take even a single step, no effort is lost in the path. No obstacle prevails. Even a little of this practice in the knowledge delivers you from the great fear. It is a golden path. Provided you apply the knowledge, you understand it, you practice it. It's a golden path where your suffering, pain in the life ends ultimately. What is an effort on this path? We should understand what is the effort on this path. It is listening and learning the principles of Eastern wisdom. How many of you believe that peace and happiness are your essential nature? It cannot be undone. Well, if you believe it, if you have a faith, and the moment you have pain and the anxiety, tell your mind, crazy mind, stop this. Peace and happiness is my essential nature. Stop instantly. Yes. Now you have a pain in the, say, for example, the right knee. It is wounded. Now that pain causes the suffering. So what will happen if you say, stop, crazy mind? There's pain. So pain may continue because of the wound, but the suffering will not be there. Suffering is because of the mind. Now, our medical science have found a very easy solution. Oh, you have a lot of pain, and then, anesthesia. Let me put anesthesia. Tell me, do you have a pain? They disconnect the mind from the body. But you can do it with the help of a meditation. See the difference. By chemical, by yourself. So when you do it by yourself, what happens? Your mind is evolving. The mind will live with a greater endurance. Am I right or not? Otherwise, keep the chemical anesthesia with you. I studied there are two types of pills in psychiatric medication, put me up and put me down. Do you know that? Put me up and mood is upset, you're sleepy, lazy. You go to the doctor, you give them symptoms. They said, okay, here are the pills. They put me up. And I have specific names, And then if you are if you are overexcited and you want to harm even your honey at home, leave aside other people. They say, okay, we have a solution, put me down. Isn't it? Oh, you can name it differently, sedatives and other names, but ultimately, these are the two kinds of pills they have. Variation is there. So here what happens, your mind is evolving. It is not impacted and affected by the world around you, the pain and the suffering. You say, okay, crazy mind, stop this. You have a knowledge, you live into the higher awareness. That is what the personal effort includes, learning and the principles and learning it and then reflecting on those principles daily in your life. And after that, you are doing the practice. So the personal now here from here you can understand this sutra easily. So what happens in any meditation or every meditation or mindfulness when we say the meditation transcends the mind, or sometimes we say meditation leads to awakening and realization. So there are two things. One is the personal effort, and second is known, you can say, let me use the word grace. Do you pay the bill of the air that you breathe? Do you pay the bill to the earth where you live? Do you pay the bill to the space by which you can move your body, you can speak, you can communicate? You pay the bill to the township. Even they do not belong, these air, earth, and they do not belong to them. Still, you have to pay house tax. But as such, they do not demand. The sun does not demand, I'm giving you the light, pay me the bill. That is the idea, that is the concept of a grace. It is always available to you. Right? So one is the personal effort. So how long the personal effort has to be done? To a saturation point. Once you are totally absorbed into the meditation, personal effort is gone and the grace descends into the mind, means the knowledge of the reality descends. Now, before understanding who are the highest seekers, there is a reference in another text. It's a beautiful verse. So I'm not speaking Sanskrit. Even if I speak wrongly in Sanskrit, you do not understand. You will say, oh, wow. So better not to speak of it. Let me talk of directly the English. Humility, sincerity, harmlessness, forgiveness, integrity to yourself, constant listening and learning, regular contemplation and reflection, purity of the mind. These are the qualities makes you the highest level of a seeker. Because now the mind is not disturbed. You don't get disturbed by anyone. Let me include honey and son and children, daughters, and the boss or subordinates. You're not at all. You're just calm. Boss says, "How dare you do this? Thank you, sir." Honey says something. No, you don't allow the mind to to react. Humility, sincerity, harmlessness, forgiveness, integrity, learning and listening these principles, contemplation that leads to the purity of the mind and the sense organs, and the mind is not engaged in reaction, blame, complaint, game 24 by 7. You are the highest level of physique. Why? The mind becomes pure. The intellect has a clarity and conviction. There is no doubt about it. And then you simply close your eyes. And I can only say one word: close your eyes and be seated. You will continue to sit even for 3 hours. I need not to say anything. You will enter into a meditative state. I had a wonderful friend in India, and sometimes people used to say, "Oh, look at this crazy guy." So he used to ask me what he said to me. I said, "He told you that you are a crazy guy." No, I think it is better not to listen to these words. A wonderful guy, always calm. I did a lot of work on this, on myself for years and years. But he was just, you say him, you are mad. Thank you very much. I have to understand why I am mad. Not affected, not impacted. And he used to get absorbed into meditation. In India, I used to give meditation for almost 2 hours and 2.5 hours, and he was just sitting. He did not do any personal effort at all. So there are people. The other way to keep the mind pure is there should be a total absence of worldly pride and arrogance, harmlessness. That is also required. So anyhow, I have explained to. Now coming to, we are gradually, we are picking up. I'm explaining you only the first sutra, that highest level of seekers. So you are getting some idea that who are the highest level of seekers. Now check yourself what I'm going to speak. You see the beauty of this journey. They make you understand every aspect of it. Who cannot attend even for hearing by. So what happens? Many people listen to hear these principles from a teacher about the real self. They listen from one ear and it goes out from the other. Even if they respect, I know. I have a long beard, so they are bound to respect. He's a teacher. But what happens? That respect does not matter anything. They listen from one ear and it comes out from the other. Then there are people who listens to these principles, hear these principles, but they cannot understand because they do not want to understand. Okay, beard guy, let me close my eyes. You give me the practice. I feel little bit relaxed, and I will join you next week. Done. I don't want to apply my mind. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just explaining. You have to check yourself. You have to check yourself. No, no, I'm not blaming anyone. This is what the verse is. Now see that those people, they cannot, even if they understand, they do not commit to practice. And this text was written almost, I could say, add 1,000, almost 3,000 years back. And I can give you the name of the text. It is known as Katho Upanishad. Now see, now You understand, but you do not commit to the practice. Even if you commit to the practice, there is no sincerity and regularity. So, what is the conclusion? What is the conclusion? Conclusion is only rare and a few reach to that enlightened state. How beautifully the verse is written. So I'm not saying anything. Understand that. Understand that. So the highest level of the seekers have all these traits. Commitment is there. They hear, if they don't understand, they say, let me understand it again and again. Let me listen it again and again. They contemplate, they reflect on it. Once you contemplate and reflect, 50% of your challenges are already gone. Because those 50% of the challenges come due to the wrong notion about who am I. You purify the mind. Intellect is clear. You remove the doubts. Now coming to the sutra. Highest seekers attain the meditation without any effort. Without any effort means they attend the session. I say, close their eye. Okay, no problem. I'm done. You are free from the thought. They are already free. Did you understand from the beginning until now? See the beauty of the teaching of our masters. So now the sutra. Sutra says Bhavat Pratyayo Videha Prakriti Layanam. It's a sutra number 19. So now understand this word Sanskrit if I translate. So what happens? How these masters explain it? Seeker who had done the intense practice of meditation in the previous birth but could not complete it due to the death. Their experience is carried forward in this birth and they succeed in meditation without any effort in this current birth. These seekers are of the nature, the Sanskrit word is known as bhava pratyaya, living in a meditative state by birth. You see, why teacher is required? They don't know in this birth what exactly is meditation. But they are surprised that why people are reacting. I'm not reacting. I'm simply calm. That's why I give an example that, guys, what is the meaning of craziness? I will find out. No worries. You see, you may find those people around you also. So that is the label given by the master is abhava pratyaya. Now understand the meaning of the. Many a time we are looking at an ocean on a beach, get absorbed in the ocean. The ocean, time, location all disappear as if you are in a different world. Have you ever experienced? You're looking at the wall and still you are not looking at the wall. You, wall, everything is absorbed. That kind of a state is present in the mind 24 by 7. Can you imagine? Just imagine. They are the highest level of a seeker. Even though they are highest level a seeker, they go to the teacher and teacher says, oh, you have to purify the mind. They say, okay, give me the practice from the very session number 1. They say they are absorbed into meditation. No doubt, clarity. And who are the second level of highest seekers? This is one. And second level of highest seekers is known as Prakriti Layanam. A simple explanation that they continue to live in the same world, living their personal, professional, social life, but that world does not live in their mind. They perform their role. Say, they go before their husband. Okay, I become wife. Let me perform my duty. Finished. Not worried. They go to their workplace. Whatever is they perform their role, done. They are focused on the work only, no pride, no ego sense, so that they don't get a chance, they don't give a chance to the mind to get it impure. They are the highest level of a seeker. So the master is using the word videha. What is videha? That you are living in the body, but you 100% know that you are not the body. Body is only an instrument. So body has a pain means car has broken down. Let me repair it, take care of it. But you don't suffer. You don't suffer. My master, almost 6 foot 7 inches, very obese, and he used to sit for 5 hours and he is talking. And I used to cry, no, you have pain. As you know, pain is there, but suffering is not there. This body is my horse. So after 5 hours, he used to cry, okay, let us stand up, horse. You have to walk on. He left the house at the age of 11. He did not go to any school, but he had a photogenic memory. Other colleagues of him with his master used to recite and chant, and that's how he remembered all these texts. Do you see the highest level of commitment, sincerity? Mind is free. When the mind is free, you can remember the things. So, what we say, there are one highest level of seekers are of two types. One, they live in the world continuously, but the world does not live in them. Now, reflect on it. One principle. Something happened in your office. The mind has a jealousy or a hatred or a like or dislike or a reaction or a fear not present in you. It's okay. Thank you. Mind is calm. When the mind is not doing anything, mind is not wandering. It is here and now. It is in the present moment. You are already in the state of mind. So you all are more intelligent than me. I have no doubt about it, 100%. But what I'm saying, I'm talking about how to become the highest level of a seeker. That is what I'm talking. So becoming a highest level of a seeker, we don't need IQ. We need a simple intellect. Who understands? Who understands? Who lives into that experience? Don't be bored. Let us start our practice. Eyes are closed and let us start our